And now it's time for the playoffs.
We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about.
What a great week. Week 14, European League of Football. As we wrap up the regular season, we're heading now to the playoffs, right? And we're left with 6 teams, right, that are going to give us some great matches heading into this time of the year, leading the way in the next 3 weeks into the championship game. And we're excited to talk about it. So what I want to do here today, recap a little bit of this past week, but I wanted to kind of talk about these teams and what I kind of think when giving my quick thoughts, all right? But this past week, I mean, we got some monster performances. Reece Sinnett totally was in his bag versus Frankfurt, did what he was supposed to do. Aaron Cruikshank in his bag, the most lethal, the most dangerous, the most impressive triple threat capture that we see in the ELF. He joins Kyle Sweet and Markel Castle in the Triple Crown Club, one with the best numbers, but needless to say, there's 3 of them. There's 3 members of the Triple Crown Club. Aaron Cruikshank is officially in there. Kudos to him and congratulations to him as well. But what a week we had. Carlton Aiken going out in retirement on a bang, over 400 plus total yards with 7 touchdowns. I mean, Justin Rodney wins the rushing title, right? The type of year he had, all right? Some monster performances we got. Prague, they finally get a win at home. End the season on a great note. What does that look like going into the offseason? And we'll have a video later this week talking about what the offseason of the ELF it could potentially look like. All right, it's going to be a wild one, but it could be what we potentially look like. All right, but, let's dive into the playoffs. All right, we got 6 teams: Vienna Vikings, Munich Ravens, Nordic Storm, Stogar Surge, Rhein Fire, Madrid Bravos, right? A lot of great quarterbacks in this class that we're about to see go head to head, right? There's only going to be one winner that's going to win the ELF championship. They're going to go through a gauntlet, right? A Paris-like type of schedule, right? In regards to like what the next couple of weeks looks like. But I'm excited. All right, let's start with Madrid. Madrid offense, the best show on turf, the best show in Europe, right? Lead by probably the most efficient quarterback in Reece Sinnett in ELF history, right? No disrespect to anybody. Paired with the Triple Crown winner, right? And the most lethal Triple Crown performance we've seen in the ELF, right? With weapons, right? Andrew Weidinger in that offense, Justice Seelig, Sexton Dragon, Juan Flores Calderon, Jordi Tordedia coming about, right? So this is going to be a fun team to watch, right? A fun team to watch going into these next couple games, all right? In regards to who they play, how's the defense going to perform in the playoffs? You're going to need defense, right? Because you're not going to be able to outscore anyone. But they're a trap team, right? If anybody's going to give anyone a game or make a team score points, they're a trap team because they're gonna find a way to put up numbers, right? But who's going to be able to go head to head with them, right? So we're going to see how that pans out. But the Madrid Bravos, second year in the league, right? Second year in the league, make the playoffs again. Now, can they get out the first round? It's going to be a hard one, but can they get out the first round? So Madrid Bravos, kudos to them. Rhein Fire, the 3P is still alive. I've been saying it the past couple weeks. Who would have ever thought, thinking about this team early in the season, right? Barely winning against Frankfurt, right? Then getting blown out, barely going against Paris. Then getting blown out versus Paris, right? Non-convincing wins, even with Nordic Storm, losing by 3 in that first matchup, right? But over the past couple weeks, this has been a dangerous Rhein Fire team, right? A dangerous Rhein Fire team, and because of a Paris loss, they get their way into the playoffs, right? The 3-peat is still alive, right? Chad Jeffries, you can't count him out. He has playoff experience. You think about last year when he was with the Ravens going up against Paris. That whole Fire team, we already know the caliber of guys that they have, especially that defense. It's ELF championship caliber, right? Can they finish the 3-peat? Harlan Kofi has been a dog, a pit bull the past couple weeks, right? And this is a team that's been, operating as their guy, right? So we'll see how everything pans out the Rhein Fire. But again, this is a team that I don't know what to think. If their best performance, they could go up against anyone, right? And we're going to have to see that going forward. All right. Next thing I want to talk about, Stogar Surge, the most mysterious, unknown team in the playoffs. We don't know how good the Surge are, right? Granted, they did all they could, obviously with their schedule and the teams that they played. But, this is a team that kind of coasted through the season. Right? The only real matchups they had, they blew out Frankfurt twice. They split against Paris. They split against Munich. But all I know is that with Jordan Newman and his team, and whenever they are prepared and focused, they are a scary team. You can't count Riley Hennessy, a.k.a. Big Cognac, out. This is potentially going to be his last run. I know they're giving this a try in regards to the whole coaching staff with Jordan Newman, Brenner, Cody Passerino, all those guys. They've been around for a while. We're going to see who the Stogar Surge really are. Can they redeem themselves from that last year's semifinals against Fire where they should have won and unfortunately fumbled it late? All right, now they're going to get a home game. All right, could potentially get 2 home games depending on if they make it all the way to the championship. But the Stogar Surge are the most mysterious team, and we don't know how good they are, and that is crazy. But all I know is that they're gonna give everybody their smoke. They're gonna give everybody their smoke in regards to being the most prepared. And when I think about that, I think about a Stogar Surge team that week 1 versus Ravens last year, they came out and they looked scary. I think we're going to see a similar team. The Nordic Storm, the team I kind of worry about the most, right? People always questioning, how good are they? Are they fraudulent, right? I think they're a good team. But, this is a first for a lot of people in that Nordic area getting to this type of level, this type of caliber of ball, right? Where, the level's got to be ratcheted up a notch. But whenever you got Jadrian Clark, all right, this is his league. Whenever you got Jadrian Clark back there orchestrating that offense, right? You have a chance. That defense, right? How healthy is that defense? Obviously, you lost a couple guys. You think about Ludwig Myron. You think about Xavier Edwards, right? And they've been able to get backups to those guys. But how good and how deep are they going to be able to play in regards to the playoffs? And because everyone's banged up at this point, right? And you need your best, all right? So it's going to be interesting to see what this Nordic Storm team is about. I'm excited to watch them, right? First year in the league, similar to Madrid, in the playoffs. And I'm giving them more credit than a lot of people are. A lot of people think that the Storm are frauds. But we're going to find out. And we're going to find out because they're going to go up against a lot of good quarterbacks, right? So we'll see in regards to how good, this Storm team actually is. But they're the team I worry about the most. Because it's a lot of firsts for a lot of guys on that Storm team, all right? Munich Ravens. Listen, they had a season. Munich has had a season. And whenever, you start to question Munich, right? Because you think about their schedule. They played the Panthers, not a playoff team. They played the Raiders, not a playoff team. They beat Madrid twice. They split against the Surge. They've had some great performances, right? Now we're going into a playoffs where it's okay, things got to be ratcheted up a level. How well are you going to match up against, the big boys? And you are one of the big boys. Obviously, you're the 2 seed, right? So, and people got to come to Munich, right? So if there's anything I trust Kentrell Ellison. I trust Kyle Callahan. Kentrell in his second season has done it again. You think about his second season with Hamburg. That was the most historic record-breaking defense in ELF history and has yet to be repeated, right? His second year in Munich, maybe not the same defense, but as an overall team, since now you're the head guy, he has his team rolling. So what does Munich look like going into the playoffs as a 2 seed now, coming off a bye, especially seeing how they played last year, right, versus Paris, right? What did they learn from that experience? Now they're hosting the playoff game, and they just got to win one to get to the championship. They just got to win one. So I'm excited to see what this Munich team is going to be about, right? I like the edge that they play with, right? This is going to be a team that is going to challenge, a lot of teams in regards to, their run game with having one of the top rushing defense in the league. And offensively, Tabor time, right? Out of all the quarterbacks in the playoffs, we have 2 rookies, Reese Annette, Russell Tabor. How do these guys perform, right? And obviously on the ELF stage, right? So this is going to be exciting to see, how these guys do it. Justin Rodney, he's a force to be reckoned with, probably ELF All-Star, right? Malik Stanley, right? Megatron of the league. I'm excited to see what the Munich Ravens look like. And then you have the Vienna Vikings. The most polished, the most ready number 1 seed we have. And what am I saying by that? obviously you played the Fire. You swept Paris, right? So you definitely battle tested. Played in a lot of close games. Came out on top in most of them except one, right? You got Ben VP back there. You got an experienced offense. You got an experienced team in general. This is a team that is, they're in familiar territory because they've been in the playoffs either as a 1 or 2 seed since joining the league, right? So the Vienna Vikings are in another playoff position. Now what's going to happen next, right? You've been to the ELF championship game twice. You won one, you lost one, right? Ben VP is trying to get this team back to the championship, all right? You have an unstoppable force in the wide receiver group, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how all this pans out, how all this comes together. Their defense has been top-notch. Their defense has been opportunistic, all right, and has been playing well too. So they are the most polished team, right, in this playoff bracket, all right? And those are the teams we have. Vienna Vikings, Munich Ravens, Nordic Storm, right? Stogar Surge, Rhine Fire, Madrid Bravos. All right, drop a comment. Let me know what you guys all think. You know how this works, locker room. Who do you have going to the ELF championship? It's gonna be an exciting week. All right, tune in later in the week. We're gonna make playoff picks, right? And I got a couple other videos coming out, right? What to look for in the offseason, what guys we want to see back in the league, the ELF alumni recap. There's a lot coming this week, so stay tuned. Athletes Forum Podcast.